Live from the Icebox Studio in Montgomeryville, Pennsylvania, it's the Bill and Corey Show.
I'm Bill.
And I'm Taylor, filling in for Corey.
Yeah, so this week it's the Bill and Taylor Show.
You know, I figured since I made the NFL so popular, and you invited me on the show, I could come here and give you some of my popularity as well.
Okay, first question is for you. Hopefully you know your stuff better.
I talked to Corey, he told me.
Okay.
He taught me about these things.
This is our first of two Halloween episodes. I'm going to say it's because Halloween's in the middle, but it's because the prop that we're going to use for the first question, not this one, we had issues with it, so we're going to bring that up next week. So the first question today will be, this is someone is looking for you got this one too.
Yeah, what's that one?
It's a little confusion here. It's for calibration. These are like calibration gas cylinders. So the question was, they're looking for a syringe adapter for a CGA 165 Micromat 14 calibration gas cylinder. This is a Micromat 14 calibration gas cylinder, and it does not have a CGA 165. They come with 160, so I don't know if they're swapping them out or what. So
and this one,
this is Taylor / Corey.
This one gets
Right.
You can stick your needle inside there and draw it out.
Yeah, this is the syringe adapter.
Syringe adapter.
This is a CJ 160 valve on here, and that's 1/8 inch NGT, National Gas Taper. It's pretty much a 1/8 inch NPT thread, and that's a syringe adapter. So you take a syringe and you draw a gas sample. You open up the valve and meter some gas in there, and then you inject it in your GC to analyze it. And this is calibration gas cylinder. This says this one's empty. I don't think it was ever filled, but it was CO2, 100 ppm. So yeah, these are low pressure, a couple hundred psi ish. But what they're looking for is
This is a CGA 165.
that's a CG. Yes, it looks like a flare fitting. That's because it is a flare fitting. So we didn't have a CJ 165 cylinder here.
No cylinder.
Those are like a refrigerant connection. The old days, in the olden days before you were born, you used Freon 12 in air conditioning, and that would be the fitting you'd have. You're in the wrong end. Yeah, that end. There'd be a flare fitting on there. So you could. This is a flare. This is a copper tubing. You do stainless, and you can adapt this to a syringe because it's just pipe thread fittings.
And there's more we have for calibration gases. Now, this one, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a CGA 600?
No, that's a C10 fitting.
C10 fitting. And it goes on this guy.
Yeah, it goes on that one.
And it's another fitting, not technically a CGA fitting.
Yeah, but this is a calibration gas regulator. This one's set at half a liter a minute.
Yeah, it controls the flow.
And you can, yeah, that's the open and close valve.
You can hear the gas coming out.
There's no gas in this, don't worry about it. But this would be for like gas detection. If you're calibrating your gas detection sensors, you'd have your calibration gas here, and it says, oh, give me a flow of half a liter a minute, 0.3 of a liter a minute, something like that.
And it'll
You'd use
calibrate
this
your
kind of
equipment.
regulator. And that's a
CGA 600. My mistake. And it goes on this guy.
And that's like a propane type.
This is what they used to have before on the home grills.
Yeah, the old home. And we have a regulator too.
Ooh.
If you want. So we've got a same type of thing, calibration gas regulator for that.
And what kind of equipment do they use on this? Like, is it just medical equipment?
No, it's a calibration gas. It says right on the side, calibration gas.
No, what are they calibrating?
That would be gas detectors, typically.
Okay. All right.
But it could be for, a lot of times the gas detectors could be for other things too, just a small cylinder. So that's what we have for these. Okay, so I think that's it for that question.
There you go.
The second question, we had a question about the T-purges. This is a T-purge. This is our brass T-purge, and it's used to purge. It's kind of like a cheap version of cross purge, not as effective. But this would be for a CJ 350 cylinder. You can tell by that fitting there, and you get the notches in the nut telling you it's left-handed thread, so it's left. It's not righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
It's lefty-loosey.
No, lefty-tighty, righty-loosey.
Yeah, that's a tongue twister.
So you put this between the cylinder and the regulator, and you would have nitrogen coming in here, or clean dry air to help purge out. Probably use nitrogen.
Essentially dry out.
Purge thing out. Yeah, to help dry it out, and you could keep. You can keep when you're changing out cylinders, you can have purge coming in, and you have a slight nitrogen stream coming out, so you won't get any impurities in there. Not as quite as effective as a cross purge. Now the question was, why does it, you can't really see it, but the arrow, actually you want to zoom in on this?
Ooh, the zoom in.
Oh, zoom in. I don't know if we're going to show that etched arrow there, but the arrow on the valve points up, and then the arrow on the check valve points down.
I know.
And you think, why are you doing that? Well, the check valve, you have an arrow on the check valve tell you that's the direction of flow.
Yeah, you want to have the nitrogen go in, but the higher pressure is coming from the cylinder trying to go up out of there.
Your voice got deeper.
Puberty, I think.
Yes, valves are set up that the arrow shows from high pressure to low pressure. So the your high pressure gas is going to be here, cylinder pressure, and you're only going to have like 50 to 100 psi coming in here. So the valve will seat properly. That it doesn't. It will work in the opposite direction, but the proper way to do it is high pressure to low pressure. So we do get this question a lot, and I looked through, and we hadn't done it on the show yet.
Oh wow!
I thought we did, but we didn't. So like I said, yes. So on the T-purge, the arrow goes up for the valve and down for the check valve. And yes, it is a little confusing, but it works. Yeah, it looks like you get no gas.
Work as intended.
Work like it's supposed to.
Well, you got to make sure the valve's open too. That could be a problem if you're not getting gas through.
Yeah.
Which that can happen sometimes.
Yeah, okay. Now, next question is for Corey.
Ooh, who?
Oh, I'm sorry, Taylor.
It's a shame Corey couldn't be on here with me, but
Yeah,
there's
it is
only
a
enough
shame.
room for two.
He's busy working on equipment orders right now, so he couldn't break free. Do you want to pop up the first graphic, shows an outline drawing? So the question is, the customer wanted to know, they wanted a outline drawing for our multi-cylinder manifolds.
Well, it seemed like they wanted a specific
wanted a high pressure
HPV.
So they got it and they say, oh, we don't see it. So so this is their typical outline drawing. It has a lot of information on it. You see, we're going to zoom in a little bit, but you'll have material stuff. It'll say materials in that one corner, and then it's got some notes on there, and then it shows you different like mounting dimensions. Other ones will show you overall dimensions, and it'll point out the different components.
And the different options, that's the key.
And different options too. So you want a second graphic, zoom in there. And there you go. So you can...
Optional high pressure isolation valve going out, and an optional high pressure vent valve going out the other way. Yeah. And the person specifically wanted to make sure that each line was not vented itself. So, and the person wanted, they didn't see it on the drawing, and so we had to point it out to them. Our switchover drawings are like this too, where there's a lot of different options. You have to look, it's a little convoluted sometimes, but you got, we're happy to point them out for you.
Yes.
I mean, Matheson is happy to point them out for you. I don't work for them. I'm just here as a guest.
Thank you. Well, we'll see. You might be a good replacement for Corey on this show. The last question, I'm not too good at my time today because we started a little late.
I don't know if, I'm
Some
sorry.
issues.
I was in the dressing room
Oh,
too long.
that's the problem here. You bring Taylor on the show.
I was in the dressing room
YouTube.
too long, and we were late starting.
Yeah, we had some, I think Taylor Swift breaks YouTube. So I think there were some issues with YouTube this morning.
You can call me just Taylor. You don't have to use my last name.
Okay. This is kind of looks upside down when you look at it, but no, this is when we ship it out, we tie the hoses so they're not so it fits in a box and it's not flopping around. Okay, someone wanted to know. Sometimes we get questions that people. This is our automatic switchover system. This is a switchover regulator, and this is the line regulator. And the line regulators on typical switchovers, we have 3 main choices: 30 psi, 100, and 150. And sometimes customers get the switchover and their application changes, and they go, "Oh, we want a new line regulator." So yes, you can buy a new line regulator, and we sell them on our online store at store.mathesongas.com. If you go to the switchover section, you'll find it. And what you do is if you order just a line regulator for a switchover, we send it to you. We send it to you with the 1/4-inch compression outlet fitting.
Unless you want a different one.
Then it'll be special.
Flexible tube here. So.
No, we're not doing that. We do that for a couple reasons. One is, well, it's easier, and also if we just send out the regulator body and say, "Oh, just swap out components." Well, there's this is a low pressure port. This is low pressure port. This is high pressure. And if you high pressure, and it wouldn't work properly.
And if it's a stainless steel switchover, you could, it's one of those things that you want to make sure you're golfing with it correctly. You know.
Yep. So
Matheson is the professional.
Yes. And
songwriter.
And football fan.
And huge football fan.
So that's all the questions I have for this week, unless anything got popped up on YouTube. Sorry about the little delay there.
Yeah.
I believe it was YouTube's fault on that one. I was having some issues this morning. So tune in again next week for another Halloween edition of the Bill and Corey Show.
It'll be the Gas House of Horrors. Tune in next week. Set your VCRs.